Well, first of all, on the positive side, I think what we spoke about at the weekend, 11 clean sheets for the season. Still a bit to go, I think. I've had a quick look and I think 20 was the most in one season. But on the downside, he didn't score either. But I should imagine it's not for the lack of effort and the want of trying that those boys want to put them in the back of the net, don't they?
Yeah, and I think it's the clean sheets help. It shows how the structure's working with the team, and that's everybody. I know on Saturday I was mentioning the back players, but without the front players working as hard as they do, contributing to the defensive side of things. And yeah, we keep saying it, don't we? We know what we've got to do in terms of we're missing out on points because of the goals. And we're working hard to try and get the players help to come into the building to try and help that, which hopefully we can get something done soon. But if we can just start putting a couple of the chances away, things might look slightly different.
You mentioned working hard. I can imagine that's in the January window, what we'll talk a little bit more about, because you've been heavily hit with injuries in that department. But how do you, as a manager and your coaching staff, go about maintaining the confidence of those lads who might come in the dressing room at the end and think, if we'd have scored, we'd have got 3 points, but we've actually missed the chances and surrendered the 3 points?
I think that's something we've not had to really deal with a lot this season in terms of the players being low on confidence. They're a brilliant group. They know we've got to improve in certain areas, and they're all buying into that, working extremely hard to try and put that right. We're trying to put them into positions where they're creating more chances, which I think we're doing. But no, in terms of being deflated, obviously they want to score goals. They prefer to score goals than getting told well done for running round. But we'll keep working and we'll keep putting them in positions to score goals. And I'm quite sure one will come off someone's backside soon and open the floodgates. Yeah,
due to those injuries, Courtney Baker-Richardson and Chris Longrant, your main two are Basala Sambu and of course Dan Ajayi at the moment. Nobody can accuse them of not putting a shift in, can they?
No, they're totally dedicated to what we're trying to do. Maybe they do need a rest now and again because they're out there every week. That can also play a part. But no, they're fully committed to what we're trying to do. Put everything in every game. And again, I think I said it Saturday, people say, oh, they should do that. But again, I think that's down to us setting the team up in the right manner for the players to be able to get closer to people.
You're now into that second month of being totally in charge. One thing that managers talk about is partnerships on the pitch. Are you seeing partnerships developing out the sides that you've been picking? I'm thinking of Rio and Tariq and Calvin Mellon and Lachlan Brook, your two strikers, and probably others as well.
Yeah, I think that's important that they do strike up them relationships. I don't like to change the team very often, but with the squad size we've got, that's going to happen because of knocks during the week and during the games. But yeah, they're working hard to strike up them partnerships. Definitely something we're working on in training, just to get some patterns every time somebody gets the ball. What movements are they making without being robots? You know, footballers aren't robots. They see things slightly different on the pitch than what you see them on the sidelines. Sorry, and yeah, we're hopeful with more work that can continue.
How important are striking partnerships, not just on the field, off the field as well?
Yeah, everybody gets along. I was speaking to someone the other day, and there isn't a player in this building I'd behind the scenes go, yeah, get rid of him. He's doing no good to the group. They're good lads, got good friendships, no issues with them in terms of how they train. So the friendships off the pitch are massively. I'm big on things like that. That they can take that onto the pitch with them.
10th day of the January transfer window. When we last spoke to you last week, you were hopeful that one might appear after Lachlan Brook came back with his second low spell. One might appear before the weekend. That didn't develop. How's it going this week? I know it's early days, but how's it going?
Yeah, we had a medical booked in on Saturday, and hopefully we were going to show him to the fans before the game, but. For the boy's reasons, he's chose to go to another club. What I would say is, no one will know who it is, but really professional in the way they dealt with things. So it's not like they just didn't turn up, which was a blow because it's somebody we've looked at for quite a while. Somebody we quite liked, thought we could add to the group, but that's gone. I am waiting on 2 phone calls this morning. to just see where we're at with a couple of things we did late last week and early this week. So again, I'm always hopeful. It didn't quite work last week, but I'm hopeful and optimistic we can get somebody in before Saturday.
This is your first main one at the front of everything, of course. This is what happens, isn't it? You have to take a step back and hopefully you bounce back in the windows.
Yeah, you just can't get too excited when you think something might be happening because, like I say, last minute people can change their mind, things can come up for different players. I'm focused obviously on trying to get the team ready for a tough game on Saturday, but you don't get too high when you think you've got a player. We'll get some smiles on our faces when he signs the papers and walks through the door.
It does create interest though, doesn't it, for the supporters, even for your own. It does create interest even for the supporters, even for your own players, and probably even for the management team when potentially new bloods coming in.
Yeah, I think you were trying to say supporters then. So yeah, it is exciting, exciting for the players. It will give everybody a lift. When we get bodies through the door, and I've said before, the players need a bit of freshness coming into the building. They need some help, some competition for places.
Well, as you said, you're getting your team ready for your next game. It's Mansfield next trip. Nigel Clough is somebody I think you show a lot of respect for. Yeah,
he's been brilliant to me when I was younger. Played for him twice. Great guy, absolutely brilliant fella. Been good to me since I've been in the job. You're looking forward to seeing him as always, but as soon as the whistle goes, we'll hopefully get 3 points against a really good team, experienced team. So it should be. We're excited for the game, but it will be a tough game.
As you know, football managers and football clubs need good contacts, don't they, as well, where you can turn to. Is he one of those that you use and one of those you may seek advice from?
Yeah, definitely. He's spoke to him. He said he's always at the end of the phone. If there's something we could do with Mansfield, obviously it'd be my first port of call. Likewise with other managers I've worked for, they've all been great. Loads of encouragement so far in the first 5-6 weeks, whatever it may be now. But yeah, it's good to have contacts, and between us in the room, we've got plenty of them.
Well, as you say, come 3 o'clock, there's no sentiment. You can have a chat and a little drink afterwards at 5 o'clock, but between 3 and 5, it's all down to business, and you're long overdue on the away win.
Yeah, I don't know what the stats are on it, Graham, but we're way overdue. Our away record over recent time hasn't been particularly great, has it? And that's something we want to put right. Obviously, we got the one at Swindon, so we've got to look for repeats and performances of that. The games might look different away than they do at home. It's down to us to put the team into a shape with tactics that we feel are going to get as a result out of the game.
And one thing that's still be in your mind, so of course you're on for 3 points in your first game against Mansfield, but they came in at you with two late goals.
Yeah, and I think that again that comes down to a little bit of experience. They were able to put the centre half up front, and he's been playing there of late, and that was a little bit of experience. It was a kick in the teeth, if you like. That game, particularly the way it was in right towards the end, but that could show to the players that they're a top team. I expect them to be right up there at the end of the season. They haven't changed a great deal. We haven't changed a great deal. It's about hitting them levels that they showed, and that energy levels that they showed in that game at home.
Have you got any more positive news? Because one positive came out, or two positives came out of the weekend. Billy Sass-Davies and Callum Haley both got back in the squad. How are the other boys going along?
Yeah, nothing to report. Charlie Colquette's going to be missing for a few weeks with his hamstring. It wasn't as good as what we were hoping it to be better. Callum's responded well to what he's done. He'll get some minutes tonight. Billy, with his ankle, we're just managing it, so we can have him available for the games. But he's working hard. He's not had a day off in terms of his work to try and get himself and keep himself fit. But no, nothing new to report really. Just that they're looking good, looking to be in the squad and fit for selection.
Just one final point on that. You've had a few of the youngsters making the match day squad, the game in the Cheshire Senior Cup. How important is that to them and their development? What's your message to them who's being picked tonight?
Yeah, it's been good to have some of the young players in and around the squad. We've had Mattis on the bench recently, and I think it's just great experiences for them. or in other circumstances that they might not happen, so they've got to embrace it. We spoke to them about that, take everything in, always be ready to get on the pitch, because they're not far off. Joel Taberner's going along nicely in terms of what he's doing. Looks to be getting better all the time. And then when they do play in the games, for me, they're just reserve games. I don't like to put a title on them. They're reserve games. Every time they play, they should go out with the same mindset as they do for the first team. Far too often have I seen players play well for the 23s, and it just has no effect on what goes on a Saturday. We treat it as a reserve game, so if they perform, they're going to give themselves much more of a chance to be selected and bump themselves up the pecking order when it comes to the first team games.